Hey everyone, thank you so much for hanging with us. I am your host, Jaidlyn, and I hope you are ready for this Pump It Up Phoenix showcase with ZELLLOO and Haru-kaze. We are going to get so hyped for this. Thank you both for being here. I can't wait to see these super sweet moves. Show us how it's danced.
Thank you very much, Jaidlyn. Hi, everyone. I'm ZELLLOO or ZELLLOO, however you want to say it. It never matters to me. I'm joined by...
Hi, I'm Haru. I'm his wife.
And you might be noticing, what is this giant doohickey behind us? Well, this is an actual Pump It Up arcade cabinet. Pump It Up being a wonderful arcade dance game meant to be Dance Dance Revolution's competitor back in 1999. So it's a South Korean game made by a South Korean company, and Namiro, and they're still very much in the arcade business doing things, so we're happy they're still supporting this game. Before we go into specifics, I have two wonderful friends and commentators that I'd like to introduce. If y'all want to introduce yourselves real quick.
Sure, I can go first.
Go ahead.
I'll go first. Yeah, I'm PureWasian, also known as Tusa in the Pump It Up community. And also I'm joined with...
I'm jqtran. I'm also a Pump It Up player and here to commentate this exciting showcase.
Thank y'all. So we're wanting to spice this up a bit because Osborne asked me to help out, as he usually does, because we love Osborne. And I was like, he asked me to do a Phoenix showcase for this, Phoenix being the latest version of the game released in 2023. But I figured this is a family event. We help family out. So why don't we make this a co-op showcase? So Haru's with me, and we're going to be playing co-op for y'all, which is a really fun and exciting way to enjoy this game that you won't really get an experience with any other modern music game. So this is going to be really fun. So I have a little challenge for y'all if y'all want to join in. So we're going to be playing 20 songs over the next hour or so. And I want y'all to donate maybe $1, maybe 50 cents for every song that we get at least an S grade on, at least 970,000 points per song. I would love if y'all can do that, and we can bring that incentive total up for the upcoming bid wars and everything. But with that, we're going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to deafen my mic, and I'm going to let PureWasian and jqtran take it away on commentary. We can go ahead and start the timer, so let's go.
Cool. Yeah. Excited to see the showcase.
Time. You know, when ZELLLOO brought me in to commentate, I was at first like, okay, well, we've done commentary before and been able to gladly introduce how Pump It Up works for one player playing on the pads at a time. But now we have to explain what's happening while two players are on the pads simultaneously. So it'll be a bit of a challenge, I think, but not to fear because that's why we're here. So from what I understand, they're going to be starting with a song called You Again, My Love. And it's a good sort of like introductory song to kind of like set the scene for what's going to be happening. So more or less what we're going to expect is that these notes, if you've ever played Guitar Hero or other similar rhythm games, the notes will be heading towards the top of the screen. And then they have to kind of like step in rhythm as the notes hit that top bar.
Yes.
But at the same time.
So now you're kind of seeing there's red, there's blues, it's kind of flying all over what's going on here. Now, Haru-kaze is going to be hitting the red notes, while ZELLLOO is going to be hitting the blue notes. So they'll have to like maneuver around each other and try to hit their respective colors as well. Yep.
Yeah, I think one thing we can do for this chart, I counted before this, and I found that there were 8 side switches that they kind of have to do. You can see they already switched, and they're switching again. So there's 2 side switches they had to do. So you can kind of see, like, even though because they're in charge of their own colors, as they go through, they have to kind of like shuffle between each other. And the really cool thing about the way these are charted, like, you know, it's supposed to be charted in a way that if you play it correctly, you're not bumping into each other. But of course, that's the hard part, right? But
yeah,
these perfects are really flying across the board right now. They're doing an excellent job.
Yeah, ZELLLOO and Haru-kaze, they have been practicing a lot of co-op together, so they're in sync. They know not to bump into each other and to get as many perfects as possible.
Yeah, I think one of the cool things about co-op charts and Pump that you'll see a lot throughout this showcase is that they have these moments where their steps are synchronized on each of the 2 sides of the pad, like right now. And then you can see, like, sometimes when the transitions come up and stuff, suddenly they kind of like start to diverge from each other.
Yeah.
Very cool stuff.
Was that? Did they just get all perfects? They did get all
I didn't see
perfect.
any other judgments. They came here to
Ooh,
play.
You know what that means, chat? You gotta donate.
All right, raising up the donation.
If it's $1 for an S, then it must be at least $3 for a triple S, right?
Also the plus.
Beautiful job.
What does a plus count as?
Yeah, the plus as well.
Ooh,
10?
so now they're going to
extra
go into
dollars?
removable disc 0. Or disco.
Yeah.
Wait, do you pronounce it disc 0 or disc 0 or disco?
I just did disc 0, but disco kind of makes sense too, right?
Interesting.
Oh, this so this is going to be kind of a different style from the last chart. You can see it has this really cool intro sequence where they kind of like slowly circle around each other as they're bopping around. But very cool note to look out for in this is that it's one of the co-op charts that has an imbalanced difficulty. So basically, you can see player 1 kind of has a bunch of stuff, and they even get a solo here while player 2 gets some time to rest. Player 2 being the blue notes. But you can kind of see like the rhythm is almost double in sometimes for the red notes versus the blue notes.
Yeah, so player 1 will have to hit some more complicated patterns, and player 2 will hit sort of like an easier version of those patterns as well. So you can kind of see like, yeah, the rhythms aren't as dense for player 2 side, the blue notes. Ooh, now that's interesting. So, if you caught it, Haru-kaze was on the left side, and then ZELLOOO kind of reached out to the right side to grab onto the bar, and that kind of helps him stabilize when he has to do that 16th note run in the front side of the pads.
Yeah,
And
lots of
that
like
ensures
little
a-
nuances. Yeah, lots of nuances. You can see a lot of these like co-op plays because you have to do so much shuffling back and forth around the other person. There's not a lot of bar usage, where a lot of modern pump players, when they're not playing co-op nowadays, seem to be like very reliant on bar usage for the high level charts. 7 grades
Ooh.
puts them at a 998, triple S plus as well for the second one. Beautiful job.
All right. Increasing the stakes here. Yes. But yeah, it seems like their playstyle has been primarily no bar, but there are a couple sections where they know if they are able to use bar without kind of like clashing with the other player, they can help use it to stabilize themselves.
They're going rapid fire through these. Now we're seeing Moment Day. This is another imbalanced difficulty chart where you can see ZELLOOO on the red notes will have like slightly faster rhythms. It's like double in some cases. I think personally this is a great chart to introduce for newer players because if you know somebody or see somebody at the arcade and they're a little bit scared or haven't tried these kind of like co-op charts before, I think the blue notes is a good one to kind of like introduce players who've maybe played a couple times, but you know,
I agree.
it's a
absolutely.
nice introductory co-op.
Yeah, this is like
And it's
a
a great
great
song.
way to get into co-op. So if you're scared, try these charts that they're playing right now. Yep.
Yeah, you can see those red notes. I love when they do this in co-ops where like one side has a solo, they get to really kind of like showcase and flare their ability, and then the other gets a turn as well.
Yeah,
Really cool
we're going
stuff.
to be seeing a couple of that. Like, I think, yeah, like right now they're kind of like one person is on the sides while the other person kind of solos, but we'll see different kinds of solo styles here. That is a good point. That is Miku, yeah. Also, fun fact, if you haven't noticed, this is a Toho remix, so for all you Toho fans out there, try to see what the song is. I don't actually know the song though. Wait, Tuso, do you, PureWasian, do you know the song?
I'm not. I just know the pump universe.
Yeah. All I know is it's Toho related, but not specifically sure.
Let's see what the breakdown is. Oh, there was
One
one grade that
grade.
snuck in there.
But a solid
They're
score
cruising
nonetheless.
through these. Yeah, beautiful job on these co-op charts. Oh boy. So now that we kind of have a feel for what charts are supposed to look like, we're gonna throw a curveball at you guys. The next one that they want to play is Stager, which was released. So I guess a bit of context. This is Pump It Up Phoenix, right? You can see at the bottom it's from 2023. But a lot of these charts kind of have been brought in and ancestored from previous versions of Pump It Up, as ZELLOOO was saying. It goes back to way like 1999. But Stager is one that was introduced in Phoenix, and it's kind of iconic for having this very stop-heavy gimmick, so you kind of really need to know how it goes.
Interestingly enough, you kind of, if you know the song, you'll be able to sort of get through it on a sight read, but there are some parts that are a little bit harder to sight read, like this part. Like, even if you do know the song, these are not the rhythms you expect to hit.
Yeah, the only visual clue you really get is that anytime you see kind of a hold note, those are kind of like little eighth note rhythms, but everything else you kind of have to have some intuition. So sight reading it is certainly a nightmare. Yeah, but you know, certainly they've seen this song, they're comfortable, they're bopping, they're grooving right now, they're having a great time.
Yeah.
Did pick up.
I really like the jumps in this song. I think one slight combo break, not sure if it's a miss or a bad, but still keeping up the perfect count. Ooh, and now we get a solo section. Now, interestingly enough, if you do play Pump It Up like previously and you wanna try to get into this chart, you can play. There are some other levels that have the same rhythms, but without the stop and go gimmick. And I think that's like, it's called the S11 and the D16. So if you want to play singles or doubles and then go into the co-op, you can kind of feel out the rhythms. which we saw some teleportation there. They had to like jump across the pads really quickly.
Wow, but due to the high note count, it seems like they're still able to pull off a triple S plus. A bit of context, I guess, on how the scoring system works. Basically, the higher the note count, if you have more perfects, it's kind of relative to that. Don't need to go too much into specifics there, but they're going to start up their next set. So if our wonderful host has anything to say, please feel free to chime in as they go into it.
I absolutely do. Thank you so much. And this has been a lot of fun. Chat. Excuse me, chat. If you are loving this, please get your donations in to let ZELLLOO and Haru-kaze know how much you are loving this, because I know I am for sure. And for their phenomenal commentators. Y'all are doing great, by the way. I did want to let you know for that. Oh, no, you're doing all the hard work. For that bid war that we have coming up for Inscription, Evil Osborne is still in the lead, and Lobster right behind that. So remember, if you would like to influence that decision-making process, please do so. All right, commentators, back to you.
Okay, this is one of my favorite co-op charts for sure. So basically, I think player 1 is on red and
Look at
player
this
2 is
section.
on blue. But what happens?
But wait for it.
Oh, now they're switching colors.
Whoa!
Is player 2 on red now?
It looks like it, yes.
So this kind of like turns upside down the
Here we go
concept
again.
of color, like what color you're supposed to hit. And now it's mostly based on positioning.
Yeah, so you have to play the mental gymnastics of like remembering kind of like which side you're in charge of, and Nimgo made this chart. He's the step maker for it, and it's just such a fun idea to kind of toy around with. And I think it was executed super well, where it makes sense, but it could definitely catch you off guard if you're not ready for it. Look at
Honestly,
those
I think
color
this is
swaps.
such an iconic chart. Like, I really love the
Yeah.
color swapping gimmick.
Me as well. So many of those like fast pad transitions too, and they're keeping combo beautifully.
Ooh, now let's check out the ending. You can kind of see it
Look at that.
flashing, but you gotta stay in the same area you were.
Yeah, it picks up so much here.
Oh, swap.
Another
And this is
one?
where like they just
Another
have to
one?
like telegraph and like based on the direction they're going, they just have to like know what color they're going to take next. And they get through the ending
Yeah,
very well.
That was wonderful. Wonderful job on such a very hard, tricky chart. Only one bad, one miss picked up on there.
Wow.
Triple S. There's such a diverse variety of charts in the co-op folder, and I think this is such a great showcase of just how many different ideas were thrown into, hey, if we have 2 people on the pads at the same time, what can we do with that? How can we spice it up just a little bit? And this is no exception. This is Overblow. And there's kind of going to be a lot of intertwining in the first chorus, but another kind of standout feature of this chart is that there's going to be a bit of stretching.
Ooh.
So we're going to
I
be
am
looking
very curious how
forward
they're
to
going to tackle that. Yeah, the rhythms in this chart aren't too bad. It's mostly quarter notes and eighth notes, but yeah, look, they're circling
Look at
around
them
each other right
cycling back
now.
and forth. It's such a cool concept. There it is again. The cool thing is, you know, if both players are able to weave through it correctly and read it properly, it plays so fluidly. But you can imagine if you're at the arcade and you just kind of like stumble into someone who hasn't seen the chart before, it can be very easy to bump into each other. Look at those stretching.
They are not even phased. They are just executing it perfectly.
Got it. It is a lot farther than it looks. It might look on camera. That's all I'm going to say.
That is true. The camera is a little bit smaller, so you might be thinking that's not a big deal, but no, it gets pretty wide.
Yeah, so many of these like pad transitions too, where they kind of like switch sides so quickly. They're doing such a great job. I think it's a common pattern that shows up a lot in co-ops, but that doesn't mean it's an easy one for sure. But Those right there, yeah.
Ooh.
The fact that they're comboing through so many of them is really awesome to see.
And that jump too. That was a fast transition.
That lunge is crazy, yeah.
Ooh.
Look at them intertwined there too. Full combo. That was
that
great.
is a tricky chart to full combo.
They were locked in and super in sync for that one. Triple S plus
Dang.
996.
I don't think we've seen anything under a triple S yet.
Yeah, they're cruising along. We've seen just such a variety of stuff so far. It's so hard to like keep track and commentate because you know these Pump It Up songs, they're like a minute and a half roughly, right? These are kind of like arcade sort of games, and of course they're going to be a little bit on the shorter side versus your traditional 3-4 minute songs.
Yeah.
But hopefully you guys are following along. Please, if you have any questions, we're trying to keep up with chat as well, so feel free to ask away. We're happy to answer anything, of course.
Yeah.
Beethoven Virus is iconic for this game. It's a great song to show off. Let's put it that way.
I am curious how they're going to tackle some of the advanced patterns or the iconic movement. Yes.
Yeah.
I think there's like about two ways to go
a
about
little
it.
bit of a surprise. Yeah. Here we go.
Okay,
Oh, we
that's
see both.
interesting. Yeah.
We see both.
So ZELLOOO is opting to do the spin, and Haru-kaze is opting to do the double step strategy. That's interesting.
Here it is again. I love that they're showing both ways. So as for context, they have basically the same pattern idea, but on the different sides of the pad, but they're choosing to play it both ways, and they're both, of course, full comboing it because they're ZELLOOO and Haru-kaze. So that's what
Obviously,
they do.
No question. Yes.
I love these solo ideas too. It's just so cool to kind of like see each player get their moment in the spotlight. Look at these gimmicks too. So one thing we should just mention briefly, for hold notes in Pump It Up, you can actually kind of like trigger them early. As long as you're on the panel by the time it comes down, you don't need to time or precisely time the step of it. You just have to be on the panel when it starts.
That is a good point.
So you can see for that gimmick that get away with that. Yep. That's a big thing that's used a lot in Pump It Up. So many different things we just have to like kind of explain on the fly.
But that just shows like the creativity of all these like co-op charts.
Oh yeah. Yeah, these are wild here. That's 3 in a row. They had to like start on ZELLOOO was on the left side and then had to go to the right side and then back to the left side. Likewise for Haru, they had to switch like 3 times, I think, at the end there, and they hit all of them with only 8 greats. That is huge.
Yeah.
That's definitely one of those charts where you have to know that those spin parts are there. You have to be ready for them.
Yeah. And then you either tackle it as a spin or a double step strat.
Yeah. I think it's so cool that we got to like see both. It made it so much easier to explain. But we're cruising right along. Shusha? Susa? The duck song, as I call it.
Yeah, I just call it the duck song.
Heck yeah.
It's a good song.
One cool thing about this one, yeah. So we can see it has a lot of like these gallop rhythms.
Yeah, we'll see this kind of like short bursts of 16th notes. And it like complements the music pretty nicely too.
I love
so
these
this
type
is
of
another
things where
jump.
like, yeah, look at this solo. So
But
one of
instead
my
of like one... Oh yeah, go ahead, sorry.
No. I was just gonna say I love these like solo ideas where one look at ZELLOOO vibing over there.
Oh yeah.
It's really cool when one player kind of gets like a moment in the spotlight, and then it's like a call and answer type of thing. So this is basically the same thing, but on like kind of the back panels instead of the forward panels.
Yeah.
But
And
you can
also...
see like,
Oh yeah,
yeah, go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead.
I just thought it's cool, like, instead of like one player resting on the side during the solo, they're like resting in the middle this time.
Exactly, yeah. So we'll see we'll see a couple of those different solo variations as well.
Beautiful combo picking up towards the end. Gets a little tricky here, yep.
Yeah.
You get kind of encroached on each other. You can see those staircases. Watch them kind of like swing over together, yep.
Staircase patterns are always like so claustrophobic as like with co-op, but they are able to nail it nicely.
Absolutely perfect!
Another
Ooh, no
triple
misses.
S plus. No misses. Heck yeah.
Ooh. So I think the next song, just as a forewarning, there is going to be some flashing effects in the chorus of this next song. And if it makes you feel uncomfortable, you may need to look away, but we will sort of describe what's going on with the flashing effects.
I just cut in real quick. Like, yes, the flashing effects are great, so look away if you need to. But if you know the words, and I know you do, chat, sing along in chat.
The background will be darkened, but yes, just please, forewarning, please make sure to be careful.
I
Yeah.
love brain
What an
power.
iconic song,
Donate
though.
for brain power.
It's the interesting thing where it's like the background is going to be dark, but the chart is going to be flashing. And we'll explain what that means once we get to the chorus.
Yeah, it's I have a question for you, jqtran. Are you team gimmick or team straightforward?
I'm team gimmick. I think
Heck
gimmicks
yeah,
give Pump a
that-
lot of soul.
That's why we're commentating together. Let's go.
Yeah. Okay, you're team gimmick too.
Absolutely.
Okay,
Absolutely.
okay. Good.
We're cool. We're cool. Don't worry.
Yeah.
I love this intro sequence. You really get to kind of like vibe for the first half.
It's pretty chill. Like, I think it's like kind of like the calm before the storm. Nice stretch though.
Yeah, definitely stretching a little bit there, but they're getting it. Making it look like it's like a minuscule distance.
Ooh, I saw ZELLOOO kind of did a little
These
spin there.
wraparound. Yeah.
Little stylish spin.
I love those like kind of like circle around the pads type of things. You really get to explore those more in co-op than you do in kind of in I guess more normal charting where you're playing by yourself and you're holding onto the bar. It's harder to do those movements, of course.
And here comes the
charts.
chorus. So if you need to look away.
Look at this.
So the arrows are sort of flashing in and out of existence right now.
But that doesn't mean you can avoid them. You have to hit all of these.
Right. And it is very fast flashing too. It is not like it goes with the lyrics.
Wow. So one thing to note too, look how fast the combo counter is ticking up. So if you miss any of these, your life bar just depletes so fast. Nicely done. The life bar being that rainbow bar at the top, you haven't seen it move at all because they have been killing these charts.
Holy,
But there's one miss that snuck in there somewhere. I
they still
was
got
trying to find it as
999.
well.
wow. Yeah, there was like a
Yeah,
really
the note
rough
count is
transition at the
so
end.
crazy high. Yeah,
But that is good.
beautiful job.
Like it's kind of like a double-edged sword with those like long notes with high combo. Like if you drop it, that's like terrible. But if you hold it, it's like a huge boost to your score.
Yeah, very good point. And they showed they could take advantage of it.
They came prepared.
Yeah, a lot of silly charts being thrown at you guys. They're going to get into their next set of charts. Next one being Obelisk. This one's really fun.
I love this chart.
If you know what to expect. If you know what to expect, this one is really fun. And for you guys watching at home, just make sure you're watching in the top left because it's a fun one.
Yeah, they're gonna dance a little.
Oh yeah.
This is definitely another one of those ones where you really have to kind of like know. Watch this. There we
And
go.
That is interesting. I think they are both looking down to sort of like, as they spin, they kind of like orient themselves. That's a good
Yep.
strategy.
That's beautiful. So, to kind of explain what's going on, usually you're looking at the screen to know what to expect, but here, it follows a pattern. It follows a like repetition that makes sense, but you have to be on top of it. And of course, they comboed through all of it perfectly. That was great.
As it is expected.
Here we go. Round 2.
So now they're like rotating inward.
And they're doing like 8 counts before they swivel. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Swivel. Yep. So it's a lot of kind of like counting and making sure you're staying with it because you're not looking at the screen. Look at ZELLLOO popping. They're both getting those shuffles in. Shuffle masters.
And now here comes another spin section, but in double time. So now they're rotating
Oh boy.
more frequently.
1, 2, 3, 4. Bam.
Wow, they nailed it.
That
That
was
is all-
beautiful.
That is always great to see. I love a perfectly done obelisk routine.
Yeah. No hesitations at all. You can't afford to in this chart, but like, wow. They've really locked in.
Yeah. Actually, that is
Really
a good
nice
call.
thing.
Oh yeah, go
Yeah,
ahead.
go ahead.
Oh, I guess in Beethoven Virus, ZELLLOO opted to do the spin while Haru-kaze opted to do the double stepping technique. But in this particular case, it does force you to do spins because of the holds. If you try to double step, you do risk dropping the hold and getting misses that way. So the spin is the safer route. Anyway, sorry. Go ahead. What were you saying?
I don't remember anymore. Probably something
Sorry.
along the same lines.
Oh, okay.
No, you're good. Nemesis. Ooh. Team gimmick running superior again. This will showcase another gimmick that is kind of unique. It shows up in a few co-op charts, but you'll know it when you see it on the screen.
Yeah. So one important thing to note is that when reading these sort of charts, your eyes kind of focus towards like the center or the bottom of the screen. And in this particular case, it's going to be very important to see why.
Look
Cool.
at that. So
So,
look
go
how
ahead.
visually different it looks in the top right, like on the screen, versus the top left, where they're actually hitting the same notes, but visually it's just like so jarring how different it looks when one half is visible versus the other.
Yeah. In this particular case, if you know which chart is showing up on the bottom of the screen versus like the top of the screen, you'll want to look at that player's side, since both sides are playing the same notes at that point.
Very interesting charting kind of like idea, right? That gets explored a couple times. It's interesting to see.
I like it.
It's almost like a
lot.
cheat code. You get to look at you get to look at your friend's side to be like, hey, what notes you got over there? Can I take a look?
Finally, a chart that like encourages cheating. That's so great.
Oh yeah.
Also, I love the song. This is a great song.
Great song. Here it comes the second time around. I think the hard part though is like if you are looking at your friend's side, you have to make sure to snap back and then not lose the timing at all, which can definitely be
Exactly.
tricky as well.
There's like a short period of time where both of the charts are visible, but you have to remember you gotta whip back.
While we're in between here, is it all right if I jump in with a quick update?
Oh sure, yeah, go ahead.
Absolutely.
Wonderful. I wanted to let chat know that we have a new milestone open, which is prepare for the final boss, the Nail 3 detour in Hollow Knight. So the IGN guide for this game suggests that you can backtrack through a few areas and do the Coliseum of Fools. Blech, we're speedrunners. We don't need to do that. But also, what if extra time to raise money for linear and bonus combat showcase? Sounds good. If Matt Quacksilver will take this extra detour to show off the IGN recommended final boss prep. So the goal for that is 3,000 of all total donations. We have already raised $2,706 towards that. And as a quick update for our bid war for the death card, Evil Osborne's still in first. Donate for Lobster. That's my opinion.
Awesome. Yeah, we are close, so let's hit that milestone. Yeah.
Another banger of a song, by the way.
I love this song. Oh my god.
The co-op, yeah, the charting for it, I think, was executed quite nicely.
It's very fun. You'll have to kind of like get a good sense of like how to maneuver across the pads, but it is a fun chart once you do.
Look at these. I love these.
Oh, one
You
thing
see
to call
Zillow
out
squatting
here-
down there?
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
So in co-op, you always want to make sure that the person in the back is also able to see the screen. So sometimes that involves the front person squatting down a bit so that they get like a clear view.
I've definitely had my share of co-ops where one person is extremely tall and I am not that tall, so you kind of have to
No, same.
get on your tippy
Yeah.
toes sometimes to see.
I am not tall, so I'm kind of like shifting left and right, trying to get a good view of the screen.
Look at these kind of like sweeping patterns. So many transitions here.
And now Haru-kaze is squatting so that ZELLLOO has a good view of the screen.
It's a courtesy. Look at this gimmick. I love this.
It matches like that chiptune-esque style, which I like.
So wonderfully, perfect opportunity to just vibe with the chart, vibe with the song. Look how fast they have to like cycle around each other and then kind of like encroach on these staircases around each other.
It takes a lot of experience to like nail that section.
Yeah, if one person's off, it's very easy to just kind of bump into each other.
Ooh,
There it
clean
is.
ending.
Very clean. They made it look so simple and straightforward, but I will tell you guys in chat, it is not that easy. It is very easy to stumble and kind of like fall off the mark and get behind, but they killed it.
Yeah. And they haven't been using I don't think they've been using the bar that much. A lot of their play has been no bar, so they're like are able to stabilize themselves for some of those really wacky crossovers.
Yeah, the most shocking thing to me, I think, so far is like how quickly they really are going between these sets. They're not really running down the timer in between songs like right now. They're just really going through them quite quickly.
Yeah.
And if you're playing without the bar, like you have to kind of like shuffle your body weight so much more because you can't stabilize as much. So they're just the fact that they're able to push all of these amazing scores out back to back to back is something that should not be overlooked. It's quite impressive.
I am really curious about their energy levels, but we'll find out once their set is over. Yeah.
Cruising right along though. Good Bounce coming up next is another Phoenix like new song, new co-op chart by Sunny. The most interesting thing to look out for in this chart is that the person with the blue notes is going to have a bit of a harder time because they have to kind of like jump on the offbeats for some of the chorus sections. And you'll see what that looks like very soon. But being Good Bounce, I think the charting style was made to be very jumpy feeling. So they did a
Yeah.
great job with that.
I like that. Yeah, when that pattern comes up, it'll be interesting to see. But so far, I think it's just like, calm before the storm.
Look at these transitions.
It's like, pardon me, excuse me, coming through.
Pretty wide transitions. Like they don't have the they're not hitting the center notes. They're just hitting like either the blues or the reds.
Yeah. And you can't really like turn your whole body sideways or your waists will bump into each other. So you really have to stretch for them.
Yeah.
I love Pump It Up's just such a great game. There's so much like kind of technique involved with going into it.
Oh,
Look
here
at
are
these
the
offbeats.
you mentioned.
There it is. It's so cool to see on the pad camera up in the top left.
It's like they're kind of like really synced. Like they're complementing each other very nicely.
And in case you missed it, there will be one more time that shows up. Oh, you have to really like kind of like encroach onto each other here.
Oh, wasn't there a 2025 patch released before the new year? It's like, I think, how should I explain? I think it's...
Here it is again.
It is kind of hard to do those offbeats, but there's like a subtle high-pitched note that's like Haru-kaze will have to lock on in order to hit the offbeat notes. But regarding oh wow,
Beautiful job. Go ahead, by the way.
oh yeah. So I think we got a comment in the chat. I think so. The current version is Pump It Up Phoenix, and it's currently listed as like 2024. But yeah, we're now into 2025. But and we'll see if there's like another update that will like list it as 2025. But I think this is sort of like the year it just actually. Yeah, I don't know how to explain describe that, but I don't think it'll change to 2025 unless there's like a huge major update. So they'll just go with the 2024 logo. Yep.
I suppose one way to describe it maybe would be like 2023 was when Phoenix was released, and then it was reborn as a Phoenix in 2024, and the color theme shifted from these red flames to these blue flames. So now the 2024 version is kind of what they showcase the logo as. So they kind of did a sort of rebranding of the game. Everything turned from red to blue.
Yeah. Oh, look at that chunky Pusheen that ZELLLOO was holding up. It's very, very cute.
I love that.
Also very relevant, you know, fun fact, ZELLLOO and Haru-kaze love cats and Pusheen. So this is definitely a song they need to play. Exactly, yeah. Honestly, there's a note skin called Cat Note Skin, and I kind of wish we could do it in co-op, but, you know, technical limitations.
Yeah. It would be hard to see, I guess, the colors of each player.
That is
It could be
true.
done, I'm sure, but yeah. And in case the notes aren't enough to look at on the screen, you can check out the wonderful, really cute background going on behind the scenes for them. For those of you music heads out there, of course, this is based off Minuet in G major from the Baroque era in the 17th to 18th centuries. But yeah, it was remade into a cat song called
I completely
Munchkin,
forgot this was a
which is on
classical
Pump It Up.
remix. Yeah.
Yeah, I think for anybody who's kind of played like violin or piano growing up, you've probably had to play this at some point.
Interesting.
Very sort of like instructive kind of thing. But one cool thing that you'll start to see towards the second half of this chart, there will be a lot of like 16th note bursts. Look how dense those look relative to everything we've seen so far.
Yeah, in this case, they are opting to use the bar just so that they stabilize themselves. But Haru-kaze did the no bar 16th note string. That's very powerful.
That's awesome. It's so hard to like keep your upper body stable for these really dense patterns when they show up without the bar. Look at that too.
Yeah, ZELLLOO has
You really
like,
have to like snap. Yeah.
Yeah. Haru-kaze knew that she was in the back, so she was able to use both bars, but ZELLLOO, yeah, he kind of had to like whiplash to the other side.
Yeah, if you have the front arrow, like the red arrow panels you can see, if you have to hit those, then you can't be using the bar because you know your partner has to kind of like slide behind you.
Mm-hmm.
But when you have to play it at that sort of like speed of 16th notes, it's just so incredibly quick. You really have to like fling your body over to snap into it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Crazy, crazy stuff. Great score though for such a cute song.
Yeah, they've been like, I don't know how their energy levels are like right now, but they do not look like they are struggling. They are like full force into this, full power.
They're hanging in there quite well, yeah. The scores don't lie.
Yeah.
So the next song is going to be Nakaka Pagba Bagabag. So try saying that 5 times very fast. Give that a try.
I cannot.
Yeah, these Dasu songs are known for having interesting names to them.
I think the funniest one is the one introduced in Phoenix. You can go look up the title because I cannot pronounce a 30-letter word.
Nyomon ultramicroscopic silicovolcanoconiosis.
Oh wow.
There you go. Wow, that was
Good
beautiful.
job.
Nice. On command. Wow. Yeah, that's it's funny to see it on the title card because it's like it still fits on there, but it's kind of a bit of a close one.
And it's not only just that, it also has like the feet Gumi or something like that. I mean, they had to add more.
You can see this one kind of has a little gimmick to it too, where it's a little bit stop and go, but it's pretty consistent throughout the chart.
And it's like, it's only been a few seconds into the song, but these holds give so much combo that they're already at 1,000 combo.
Yeah, just you have to make sure you don't drop them.
Yeah, a lot of double stepping action too, because they're like one foot is planted on the holds, while the other foot has to kind of like maneuver around.
Little brief solos there. Look at these wraparound sections. They really have to like transition a bunch here. And then they kind of have these encroaching staircases where they have to be in sync for them.
Yeah.
Beautiful job. Oh, those wraparounds are sick.
That is so
Small drop.
claustrophobic.
Yeah, you really can't miss a beat here. Or it won't just be you that's kind of like stumbling. You'll make your partner stumble as well, but they get through it very cleanly. They make it
Nice.
through. They make it through. That's a tricky one. Very, very tricky.
Very tricky. Double S plus.
Double S
Nice
plus
job.
secured. Yeah.
Next stage.
Mind if I pop in with a quick update?
Ooh, sure.
Go for it.
Wonderful. We have $5 from Anonymous that says, I heard that IGN% is brutal. Sign me up. And that is in reference to the new milestone incentive that just got opened. So that is at $3,000. Our good friend Quacksilver will have to take a little detour to show off the IGN recommended final boss prep during Hollow Knight. So that brings us to $2,711. That is around, if I math correctly, I believe $289 left. That would be pretty fantastic to get to see. So thank you so much for your donations. As a reminder, we don't need a name and we don't need a comment, but we are so happy for any generous donations that we get towards Linear. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much
Thanks
for the
so
donation.
Much appreciated. I hope you guys are having a wonderful time here with us. All of these great songs. Such a diverse variety of charts and songs. All co-ops, 2 players playing at the same time. We're getting into Forgotten Vampire next.
Yeah,
This
you
is
did
an
a good
interesting
job picking
one.
these
So,
songs.
absolutely. So, we've kind of explained how maybe one side might be harder than the other, or you know, they kind of like share a lot of the same patterns, or one side takes a solo and then the other side takes a solo. I think here is one of the interesting co-op charts where one player has more of the melodic line while the other player has more of the percussive kind of like steady rhythmic flow to it.
That is interesting. I didn't realize that they kind of like captured different parts of the song. Huh.
It's really cool. You can see ZELLLOO kind of has more of the, I guess, flaring kind of melodic lines, and then Haru's really keeping it steady and together. I guess it's more kind of like the style of like if you've played maybe Gitadora or like Rock Band or Guitar Hero, where one person has one instrument and then the other person has the other. It kind of gives that sort of vibe to me, which is very
that's
cool
interesting.
to see.
Oh wow, those are. I think those are
that's
really
a lot
fast
of tricky
bursts.
bursts.
Yeah, so it seems like ZELLLOO is just
You
going to be
see-
doing a lot of speed, and Haru-kaze is going to be doing a lot of double stepping and jumping.
Yeah, you can see them opting to use a little bit of bar there because they really get twisty, and it's very easy to kind of like not be in place if you're not using the bar for them.
Exactly.
So fast and so twisty. When you really have to like twist your hips and your waist to hit the patterns, that bar definitely helps a lot. Wow. It's such a volatile, tricky chart, and they managed to like keep up with it right even towards the end. That's, I think, the first AAA plus, yeah?
I think it's the first one, but it's still a solid score. Yeah, that chart is. Ooh.
It's
That
very
will probably
nice.
do a number on their energy, but they will stay strong because they are strong. Yeah, I did not realize like that chart has like a lot of mean rhythms in it.
It is brutal. They said, oh, if you have the melodic line with all the piano parts, have fun. You're gonna need
Yeah.
the bar for this one. Looks like we got another K-pop one coming up. This is You and I by Dreamcatcher.
A really great song too.
I think a lot of Pump It Up players enjoy all the Dreamcatcher editions. That happened in Double X and Phoenix as well.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, we got Full Moon, You and I, and Fly High in Double X, and then Boca in Phoenix. All really good songs. I think with the exception of Fly High, they're also really fast songs too.
We also had Chase Me in Prime 2, yeah?
Chase Me and Goodnight, yeah.
Yeah. Beautiful 1000 combo to start us off.
That is such a generous hold. I like that. I like it when they
Beautiful.
give us points like that.
Very juicy combo. I love these kind of like rockabye patterns, you know?
Yeah, and it complements the song very nicely too. It's like very similarly sounding as well. Pitch relevant? I don't know. Yeah. A lot of the more complicated patterns are just like on each other's sides, which is kind of interesting. A lot of twists. A lot of wide twists, actually, yeah.
Here's another wraparound section.
And a little break before we get to the final chorus. But they have to switch.
Oh, yeah.
They have to switch sides
They
before.
get a nice, juicy bit of time. It's nice that, you know, the chart has a little gimmick to give you a visual indication as well.
Yeah. Ooh, that was a sharp turn, a sharp transition across the
Yeah.
pad. Yeah, this is a mean
A lot
ending.
of twists. Yeah, a lot of sort of twists that, especially without the bar, can be very, very tricky to pull off. I guess they were like, you had your 1000 combo, now we're going to make you work for the rest of it.
Yeah. Oh, triple
They
S.
pull off a
Nice.
triple S. Excellent work. Most excellent work.
Next stage.
I can't believe they're still going so strong. They've been just
Yeah.
rapid firing these charts back to back to back to back, making them look easy, which, by the way, spoiler, they're not. They are quite difficult.
Yeah. And they're playing like some of the hardest charts, or the hardest co-op charts in the game so far now.
And such a diverse variety of them. It's not like they're cherry picking ones that kind of like are of a specific variety. They're really showing, hey, these are all of the cool charts that are out there that you at home should try. If any of these get you interested in Pump It Up, like that would be awesome.
Yeah.
Grab a buddy, just go to the arcade if it has this Pump It Up machine, and have fun with it. Honestly, such a great way to enjoy the game.
Yeah.
I'd say maybe the hard part is finding the tabs sometimes, right? In arcades.
Yeah. And making sure that like the pads are okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Especially when you have public arcades and kids can be kids, it can be difficult to have all the sensors of the step pads working as nicely as you would want them to be.
Yeah. So it looks like we're getting into Windmill, which is a very fast song at 246 BPM. Wow. Very cute background though. I like this background. But yeah, this chart is going to be a lot more twistier as well. Like one person is just kind of like brute forcing it while the other one is hitting the holds just to sort of like maneuver their way around the chaos.
Yeah, I really like these style of co-op charts where they kind of have a sort of call and answer to them. You know, one player has like kind of an idea that's shown and then the other player picks it up from them, right?
Yeah.
Super cool to see. Thematically, it
always
kind of
just
just
nice
makes
complementing.
sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, those are some nasty twists.
Just look at their footwork. It's beautiful.
This is tricky. Nice.
Yeah, for that staircase, I think both of them opted to use the bar to like really ensure that they can like go to the left side fairly fluidly without any crashing.
Your skills are really amazing.
S plus 978.
On such a fast song, yeah. Very well executed.
Next stage.
It looks like we might be getting into our last one of the showcase. Coming up
Ooh.
already. Wow, it feels like it flew by so fast.
Yeah, actually, yeah, I'm very surprised. Huh. But this is like one of the hardest charts in the game for co-op. It is. Oh boy. I am very curious at how they're going to execute this one.
Yeah, so you'll see very quickly at the very start of this chart what the sort of thematic idea is going to be. And we're going to see a bunch. But that is not even what makes it sort of the hard aspect of this chart. It has sort of like two parts that make it hard. And overall, it's going to be a great showcase of a boss chart in the co-op folder.
Yeah. And yes, you did see them put the auto velocity to 530, and this is actually like like normally you want to keep a low BPM or BPM to like 450 or something like that so that you can coordinate reading the screen, but this you will need to bump it up a little bit and you will see why.
Yeah, this one's real tricky. Really fun, but really, really tricky. I hope you guys enjoy watching. It's going to be really fun.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah,
not holding
this-
the bar, which kind of tells me. Okay.
Okay.
You can see they already have some 16th note bursts there too.
And they're both opting to hold their side of the bar while they cross over onto the other pad as well. Ooh! Haru-kaze was holding onto the bar while reaching over to the other side. That's very...
Look at those runs. So many like brief staircase runs there. Wow. Hanging on to the bar.
I didn't actually know that was possible. I thought you would have to like let go during that section.
Yeah. Being able to reach all the way over to the other side while still holding the bar of the opposite side is crazy.
Yeah, that is a good advantage. In this case, ZELLOOO does let go of the bar just to like fling himself over to that side. Oh god.
Here we go again.
This is just relentless.
There we go. You can see letting go of the bar. Let's see. Yeah, you have to let go there.
Wow. Perfectly done. That is just confusion. Just seeing so
We're
many
still
notes.
going. We're still going. Come on. Nice. You'd see them opting to double step these patterns here.
And a solid finish. Great job to ZELLOOO
Nice.
and Haru-kaze.
Snaps and claps. Made it through to the end.
Woo!
Very, very crazy co-op chart. Tepris.
Somehow they are still standing. I do not. They need some
is-
chairs.
And water. Make sure you hydrate.
That's a good.
Yes,
point.
please make sure y'all hydrate. This is a very physical intensive game, and you should always make sure you hydrate. Anyways, if I was keeping track of that right, we got at least an S on 18 of the 20. So if y'all want to donate for that, either 50 cents per song or $1, make the calculations you need. We'll donate for that too. But I want to thank everyone for being here. I'm going to hand it off to everyone else first before I do final shout outs. So Haru, anything you want to say?
Thank you, Osman, for organizing this. I hope it helps. Whew. We're very glad to perform, but it's hard. We need some food.
Tusa and jqtran, y'all want to do some quick shout outs?
Sure. Perhaps we should have started so you guys could have a moment to catch your breath a little bit. But yeah, just shout out to everybody here. Thanks for tuning in, you guys at home, organizers of this event. My lovely commentator here with me, jqtran, ZELLLOO Haru. Just thanks for letting me be here to share this game with all of you guys. It was a lot of fun.
Likewise. Thanks for co-commentating with me. Thank you for putting on a good show, ZELLLOO Haru-kaze. Thanks for having me on here for such a good initiative. And yeah, I guess yeah, definitely if you're interested in what you saw, definitely check it out if you have access to the arcade and give it a try, see how it is. Yep.
All right, thank y'all. So I'm going to end this off real quick. So Pump It Up was actually how Haru and I became a family. We won't go into the full details, but because of this, we got married. We've been married for a very long time as a happy family. And we wanted to pass this down to this marathon as well, because the speedrun community and rhythm game community is also very much a big family, always supporting each other. And with everything in the world being uncertain right now, play co-op with all the ones who love you and take care of each other, just like this. So if you want to find more of this and other shenanigans, you can find me at my Twitch at twitch.tv/ZELLOOO. That's 3 L's and 3 O's. No more, no less. But with that, I'm going to pass it back to Jaidlyn for the rest of the marathon. So thank y'all for having us, and we'll see y'all next time.
Thank you so much, ZELLLOO and Haru-kaze, for that phenomenal showcase. It was so wonderful to get to experience that and really get to dive into the terminology and everything that happened during that so that we could experience that with you and just have a mind-blowing experience. And we actually had a really wonderful $50 donation from Tusa and Elbeth that says, ZELLLOO and Haru did so well. Thank you for showcasing PIU Phoenix and sending our best wishes to LinearC less than 3. We also have $100 from our recent commentator, jqtran. No comment, but thank you for your phenomenal commentary and for donating towards this amazing, marathon that we have here. Quick update before we move on. I wanted to let you know, chat, you know I love a good bid war. After yesterday when we had a tied bid war, we are $1 apart on our current bid war. I knew chat would love to torture me in this way. The death card name bid war, Evil Osborne, is $1 ahead of Lobster. Chat, do you want to have another tied bid war? Or would you like to get your opinions in on what this death card name should be? Please donate in order for that to get in here. Remember the top two. The top two names will be chosen for our stream. And so as also that now we have raised $2,861. That is so close to our new milestone goal of $3,000. Jaidlyn's math brain is not at 100% on this fine day of ours, so we're going to go ahead and use our good friend, the calculator. This is the time where you get to laugh at all of the people who said you never have a calculator in your pocket. And we have $139 left. $139 left to meet that milestone incentive. Chat, thank you so much for having me here in this cozy, wonderful, cute chat on this great day that we had for Lifeline for Linear, a mutual aid marathon raising money for fellow speedrunner LinearC. I have enjoyed my time with you. This is the end of my time as a host for this marathon, but I leave you in the capable, beautiful, goddess-like hands of the one, the only Chibi Carrera. I hope you all have a fabulous rest of your evening. Remember, stay hydrated, stretch, get your snacks and your drinks, get whatever makes you cozy, and stay here and keep donating for LinearC. Thank you so much, chat. See you soon.
Oh my gosh, I think I'm gonna cry from that intro. Jaidlyn, first of all, how dare you? Second of all, thank you so much. You are so sweet. Third of all, hello everybody. I'm Chibi Carrera, and welcome to Lifeline for Linear. I'm gonna be your host for this next game of Inscription. Any % unrestricted with Devilman. We're in for a really good time. This is gonna be a really great run. And did you know that we currently have a bid war open for that? You get to decide the name of the death card. The top two options are gonna win. So in first place we have Evil Osborne with $56, and in second place we have Lobster with $55. There's still time, like just a little bit of time right now. If you want to put in a completely different name, you can go ahead and do that, or you can donate for what's in third place right now, which is just Osborne. And if you donate towards Osborne, you might put that in first or second place. And then we could either have Osborne and Lobster, or Osborne and Evil Osborne. Or if you just want to keep it as is with Evil Osborne and Lobster, I like that too. You could change who's in first if you want. So do !donate in the chat and scroll all the way to the bottom after you enter in the amount that you want to donate. Make sure you hit that add incentive button and then that you put your money towards the name that you want to win. Or you can just put it like into the little donation message and then our amazing team will know where you want it to go towards. For anyone who is just joining us, this is Lifeline for Linear. We are a mutual aid marathon raising money for fellow speedrunner LinearC. From Wednesday, February 18th to Sunday, February 23rd, we're excited to showcase 5 days of action-packed speedruns for her benefit. For the full schedule, type !schedule in the chat, and if you want to donate, type !donate in the chat. I can't believe everyone's generosity and that we have raised $2,861 so far for LinearC. Y'all are absolutely amazing. I am speechless by your generosity. A quick reminder that we have a milestone open to hit $3,000 raised. If we meet that milestone, during Hollow Night, Quacksilver is going to take a detour to an optional recommendation of the IGN guide to get the 3rd upgrade to her nail and prepare for the Hollow Knight's final boss. On one hand, that sounds like a bit of a pain, but on the other hand, it sounds like more marathon, and we love more marathon around here, don't we? I know I do. Hey, I am getting word that we are just about ready for our inscription run with Devilman. We will be back in just a moment.